Think you're optimistic? Generous? Confident? Well, I'm about to ruin that for you. Sorry. I'm not quite sure if I want to make this topic into multiple episodes that go more in depth, or as a longer episode that either goes in depth or just gives it as like a point to point. But we'll just have to see how I feel as I write the script. God damn it, I hate it when I do that. And yes, even that remark was even written in. So as you all may know, there's always a negative to a positive and a positive to a negative. And no, I didn't mean to start this episode by making you question yourself, especially if you see yourself in a more positive way. But this is still a vital technique when it comes to writing, especially when it comes to dislike among characters. It's always important to keep in mind the negative opinions on a character when it comes to writing, since it makes them more human, believable, and relatable. Because after all, someone always hates another person, whether it be for a good reason or not. So here are a bunch of positive traits that one can give their character turned sour. To start off with perfectionism, or being a perfectionist. From the point of view of a person who dislikes this character, they can be described as never being satisfied, a try-hard, or impossible to work with. So in a sentence it can be described as, "Oh, Jason is such a perfectionist. He would never leave a stone unturned or a spot uncolored. He gets such good grades because of it." Meanwhile, on the other hand, it can also be seen as, "Samantha is such a try-hard. She is never satisfied with what we do, even if we stay up late at night working on the project. She's impossible to work with. I doubt she has very good collaboration marks." So you all see where I'm going with this episode format. It may seem short now, but I think I have around 40 traits to get through. I didn't count them, and so I don't know the precise amount. Anyway, on to the next one, devotion. Positive. Never-ending loyalty and love for what they do or who they're with. Negative. It can possibly turn into obsession or be seen as obsession by others. Positive example. Susan is so devoted to her work. She always spends late nights at the office and always responds to emails even in the wee hours of the morning. Negative example. Kingston is completely obsessed with their friends. I'm talking always responding instantly, buying lunch for them, checking in on them. They even have their friends' birthdays memorized and planned surprise parties for them. It's so creepy. Honesty. Positive. Helps others grow by speaking up and being honest. Negative. Can be seen as insensitive or arrogant. Positive example. Kai is so honest. They help me see the truth when I'm upset and am in the wrong. And there were even times when they told me the truth about what my friends have been saying behind my back. Negative example. Francois can't keep his mouth shut and is so insensitive. Even when I was telling a person about my interests, he just spoke up and told them that I've never actually done any of them and frequently dissed them. Like, what the hell, dude? He's so rude. Ambitious. Positive. Always looking forward to try new things and improving their skill set. Negative. Can often get in other people's way and show no compassion for others, and can be seen as ruthless. Positive example. Patrick is so ambitious. By the age of 12, he had already participated in a 10K run. He's practically a master at piano, violin, and trumpet. He has won several awards throughout high school, and he's on his way to a top university in America. Negative example. Lily is so ruthless. She has taken all the best awards and scholarships all for herself. Become head of the basketball team after only playing for just 1 year, which she isn't even passionate about. Written several books that had been published in the school newspaper, silencing that of other people interested in writing, and has become head of multiple clubs, which means less teacher supervisors for other people that wanted to start their own club. Generosity. Positive. Always does what they can to support and help others. Negative. Easily taken advantage of. Positive example. Kyle is so generous. He helps feed the homeless, assist students in study sessions, offer to buy lunch for people who may not be able to afford to, and has even helped the janitors with cleaning to make their lives easier. Negative example. It's so sad. Riley has been buying lunch for their friends every day for months now. They had even shown me their bank statements and they had spent nearly $1,000 on them. They overworked themselves by trying to help people study, and yet none of their friends are actually nice to them at the end of the day. Loyalty. Positive. Always accepting of others' flaws and is willing to stick by their side through thick and thin. Negative. Tends to be treated badly due to ignoring the more unacceptable flaws. Positive example. Aiden is such a loyal friend. Even after my life changed due to my parents' divorce, I was in a dark place, they remained by my side and wouldn't listen to anyone who dissed me. Negative example. Susan has been getting bullied every day, but for some reason chooses to stick around because their friend got a bad grade on a test a month ago, and is still processing the disappointment that their parents vocalized to them. Protective. Positive. Can be seen as a safe place for some people. Negative. Can be seen as a suffocating presence and overprotective. Positive example. Trey is such a good guy. He stands close to me when we're walking in a sketchy part of town and doesn't accept a guy even staring at me the wrong way. Negative example. Charlie is too much for me. I mean, I can't even make new friends without them stepping in and either interrogating them or telling them to F off entirely. And they're always around too. Like seriously, I need my space. Optimistic. Positive. Always a good person to turn to when needing to look at the bright side, and is often difficult to bring down. Negative. Can be seen as unrealistic or always having their head in clouds. Positive example. Casey is such an optimist. Even after her favorite basketball team lost, she still smiled and said that she looks forward to the next game when they absolutely crush their opponents. Negative example. Tim is incapable of being real for once. He always insists that someone will purchase something from his shop, despite it being years without him getting a single visitor on his site. Dependability. Positive. People always go to them for help. Negative. Tends to get overworked or used. Positive example. Jackson is such a dependable person. No matter what, we can call him into work and always be confident that he'll say yes and do his best. Negative example. Wow, Justine has worked 60 hours this week as a part-timer because she keeps on saying yes to going in, even when she has full-time school as well every day. I've seen to catch up with her. She looks exhausted. Cautious. Positive. Is safe at all times and never gets hurt. Negative. Never risks anything, is often not invited on more exciting adventures. Positive example. We never need to worry about Jazz being online or doing anything dangerous. They're just so cautious. Negative example. Dax is so boring. Seriously, the last time we invited him cliff diving, he tried to stop us or even get us to wear life jackets and sunscreen. The man is incapable of just living. Determined. Positive. Always gets things done and doesn't stop till they do. Negative. Can never drop something or move on. Positive example. Casey is such a determined young man. He always gets his work done on time and exercises several times a week in anticipation of winning first place at track. Negative example. Bree is far too hung up on that test coming up. She's been studying every night since it has been announced. She hasn't even been responding to our messages or come to hang out with us. She's far too determined on getting a good grade. Diligent. Positive. Never misses a spot and is always the most trustworthy when it comes to serious results and examinations. Negative. Can be seen as far too serious or not able to take shortcuts. Positive example. Drew has finished searching the entire attic and thanks to his diligence he has found the kittens hiding in the darkness. Negative example. Sam has made us search the entire classroom 6 times for their missing laptop, and only after the 7th time of checking the cabinet that's never used, they have finally found it. Selfless. Positive. Easy to get along with and always putting others' needs before their own. Negative. Never taking time for themselves or always being seen as having ulterior motives. Positive example, Patricia has been helping the teacher of cleaning, working harder to make up for her coworkers who aren't feeling well, skipped her lunch to help me find my phone, and has been making and preparing meals for the homeless nearly every night. Negative example, Beast has been curing blindness, providing free food and finances to financially unstable families, and has been doing what he can to support his staff, all while recording and posting it publicly. So he mustn't be doing it for the right reasons. After all, we totally can't trust with how much he's helped and donated that his mission in life is to die helping others with no money left in his bank account. Right? Sorry, had to toss that bit in. It's personally just so angering when people see him that way. Anyway, persuasive. Positive. Easy to make others follow along and is generally well trusted. Negative. Others may see them as manipulative. Positive example. I was stuck for the past week on what water bottle to get myself, but James is just so damn persuasive that I went for the black one with the time labels on it. Negative example. Kirsten has been getting people to go to the movies with her next week instead of going to my pizza and karaoke night by promising that she'd pay for everything and that I'd still charge them for the pizza. She's just so manipulative. Tidy. Positive. Areas kept clean and makes people feel comfortable sticking around. Negative. Can be seen as a neat freak that refuses to actually let their home be lived in. Positive example. Coming over to Brittany's place is such a nice escape from all the messes at mine. It's so relaxing to just be able to sit back and not see a pile of unfolded laundry in the corner. Negative example. I hate how Landon always tells us to take off our shoes before coming in, use a coaster, and even clean our dishes the moment we finish eating. And for the kicker, he even vacuums while we're trying to watch a movie. Seriously, I feel like I can't even exist in his house. Innocent. Positive. Isn't assumed to have done anything wrong. Negative. Is typically seen as naive or inexperienced. Positive example. Chris is such a sweetheart. Even after the kids ended up breaking the flower pot, I know I can always be sure that they hadn't done anything wrong. Negative example. We've decided to invite Chad out to the shooting range for his 21st birthday, though I doubt he'll even be able to know how to hold the gun. He's probably never even seen one before in his life, even in movies. Realistic. Can be trusted to be truthful about things, no matter how dire or hopeful it is. Negative. Is often seen as a pessimist by others. Positive example. There's a test tomorrow and hardly anyone has grasped any of the concepts yet. And honestly, even though I'm hopeful that we'll do well, I can't help but trust Jerry when he says that we're all screwed. Negative example. No matter what I try to accomplish, Katie always tells me that it won't go well. Whether it's playing a 1v1 basketball game against the coach, going to a test without studying and being sure I'll ace it, or attempting to run a 5K without any practice, Katie always tells me I'll fail. She's such a pessimist. Assertive. Positive. Good when needing to get what one wants. Is often a trusted leader. Negative. Can be seen as bossy. Positive example. Christy has helped the band land a position tryouts for the school's talent show by being assertive, even after she's been told that there's too many people trying out already. Negative example. I've been trying to become the VP of our class business because Linton is just too bossy, that we can't even tell them no without them trying to get us to accept otherwise. Lastly, for this episode, proud. Positive. Can't be brought down and is happy to show off their hard work. Negative. Refusing to accept help from others and instead want to prove that they're good enough to do it themselves. Positive example. Vic is so proud of their hard work that they even decided to pin up their art on the corkboard for all to see and compliment. Negative example. Nick hasn't been drawing his eyes proportional for a while now, but every time I've tried to give pointers, he'd shut me out and claim that he doesn't need my help. He's just far too proud. Alright, Just the script alone is already 9 pages long, and I'm only halfway through my list. So I'm making a part 2 next week to finish it off. But for now, let's give my voice a break and go on with our negatively positive days. Check out my novels Death Trail, Flame Rip, and Arctic Blaze on Amazon Kobo, link in description. Check out Creative Writing Club Premium on Patreon and Spotify, link in description. Check out Creative Writing Club Discord server in description. Check out my personal Instagram at dark_night_wolves. Time for me to get ready to go to work. Have a great rest of your days.